9th of March 2025, Whistler. Earlier it was dumping lots of snow, big flakes, but now it's warmer. It could be 4-5 Celsius degrees, uh, and it's all wet snow, heavy snow. Earlier my thermometer on the car, it showed -1 while it was snowing, then a mix of rain and snow, and here it's all slush. While I was driving here, I was listening to a monk, a philosopher, an older person who's very knowledgeable in religious information, tradition, culture, and stuff. He was talking about the concept of hell and the origins of these words, and also he mentioned that hell is not being mentioned in the Bible. It's just man-made stuff created by some religious leaders in the past to deter people from sinning. And he is talking about the idea of sin. He worked with sinners the whole life. That was the job of a monk, to help the sinners to become better humans, closer to God. So he is pretty good at helping people straighten up. He said about some cultures where people are being criticized for making errors. Like he was talking about drug addicts, narcotics users being condemned by their relatives and peers and society about their struggles and about their errors of judgment and lack of power, of self-control. And he's talking about compassion, how to help these people with your compassion if you have. It was really interesting talk. And also he was talking about hell and how the soul is judging itself once it leaves the body, and why some people describe hell like a fiery place, a place of flames, like rivers of fires and stuff. And he's talking about the fear, the emotion of fear, why the soul that have lots of heavy stuff from sinning during the life on being incarnated, that heavy burden causes fear, and fear causes the soul to create a virtual place, which humans call it hell. And I'll give you an analogy about normal human thinking. Let's say you don't believe into the hellish as a place, as a virtual place. I described hell as a virtual place where is no time and no space into one of my previous videos. It's also more of a philosophical monologue. You don't have to give value to anything I'm saying. It's just me talking to my made-up audience, which is the virtual you. This is virtual me for you. I've been to Hawaii, and we had a family trip to Hawaii long time ago, maybe over 10 years ago. And as being a very adventurous, I thought to see the volcano and the lava river. That was a big goal for me. So once I got to the end of the road, actually it's the end of the road, it's a It's a place where you see the stop sign, and then the road is covered by a pile of like hardened lava. It's like you see kind of a river of rock. It's not rock. How to say it? It's like it used to be a river of lava, but now it's hardened. And you see the stop sign used to be a road, and the road was going somewhere, but now that's the end of the road. My family was at the hotel, and I took this rental car and I went to this end of the road where people start hiking about 6 miles one way. And I didn't know much about water. I didn't know much about how long it's going to take me to climb those up and down, because any river has waves. Same thing, where this lava kept coming, encountering solid rock. It had to go over, then because the consistency of the lava was different at different times of the day, or different temperature, or whatever, rain or something, it would harden and make a pile, but then lava river would go around. So it's all a mess. It's not nice smooth hike. You have to go up and down, go around, climb stuff. It's so demanding. And 6 mile one way, you think it's just 6 miles, which is maybe 10 kilometers. But 10 kilometers of hike on that uneven terrain, it's very demanding. So I got to this place. It was dark. I was after 12 a.m. Dark, completely dark. No moonlight. I could see this river of lava from far away, from miles away. It was like a bright orange. And but I keep going, but it's not getting closer, and I'm excited. It's like a unique experience. And I went. I would get closer and closer. So finally, I got so close. I could feel the heat from this lava river. And I took my old camera at the time. I took the camera, and I'm trying to take pictures. It's so hot, It's like cover my face because it's burning you. You feel it's burning. The infrared, the heat is burning you. So cover, click. It's so awful. It's hot, and so I had water, but even I don't drink much water. Even now, being older, I don't drink much water during the day. But at the time, I was okay with like a half liter a day. That was my normal drinking water, my normal needs of water. And I am out of water. It's hot. I take my pictures, and so now I'm walking, and I'm looking down, and I say, okay, I see some cracks right here, like so I'm walking and I see cracks, orange, and I realize that underneath is lava. And what I was doing, actually, I was walking on a lava crust, and from place to place it was some cracks where I could see the orange hot lava. And of course I moved away from it. So that was scary only after that. But while I was on that stuff, on my right was the river of lava, very hot, like maybe within 5 meters or something. But also underneath me was lava. So what the lava does is the hot lava is digging under this already hardened basalt volcanic rock, is digging, melting, making its way. Sometimes it's popping outside. It's very interesting phenomena. So again, I was excited, and the fear kicked in only after I got out. Now I had to hike back. I was like, wow, amazed of the experience. The realization actually kicked in only later. So now I'm focused on hiking back because I had to make it back to the hotel. There was no cell service in that area to let my wife know that I'm going to show up late at the hotel. And now I'm hiking back in the dark with some flashlight, no water, and I'm getting thirsty. So thirsty, it was hellish. My body was craving for water, and I could hear the ocean on my left. So I was hiking beside the ocean. It was no trail. I was just like going by the GPS, and I knew where to aim, but was no trail. It's no marked trail, especially when you hike at night. And I could hear the ocean, and I went towards the ocean, so I knew that I'm keeping parallel to the ocean because I knew that my car was parked not very far from the ocean. So if I keep the ocean shoreline, that's all right. And I could hear the ocean, and I was thirsty, and I was urged. The survival instinct was kicking in, making me to try to go to the ocean to drink water. But at the same time, the logic tells me ocean water it's not good. You get sick. And hours and hours took me to hike back, and finally I got back to that area, to the end of the road, and I met a guide showing through a binocular to one of his customers, a guide who was familiar to the area, but he had an Asian, I think it was an Asian customer. He was showing him about the lava volcano thing like that to the binocular. So since I had just returned from that area, I said, yeah, you know what, it was so hot, I realized I was stepping on some crust. They said, yeah, but you know what people do? They carry extra water and they spray down. They take water on the mouth and they spray down, and they listen if it's hissing, then they have to move away because underneath is lava. Okay, I didn't know. Good thing, I was lucky. So what this one has anything to do with hell? The soul, it's loaded with information. When it departs the body, this made up reality, it's a virtual reality made up by the brain. When it departs the body, enters in different reality where it's no five senses as used as a filter. The brain is using the five senses of the human body, and it creates a virtual reality. So we live and experience life through that reality, made up reality. When the soul is departing, this intelligent energy is departing the dead body, the body that it's left behind in the process of recycling, the decaying and natural recycling onto this material world. The soul goes somewhere else. Let's call it a different dimension. And let me not bore you with my face. I'll take you for a short walk. And now, since there are no five senses in the process, the soul experiences data without alteration of the human senses, which are also virtual made up senses. So we live a made up reality, made up world created by a creator. Did I lost you here? So it's a created world, and it's one way the angels and God perceive the world, and another way we perceive the world through our own experience, our own programming, our own reality, made up by the brain through the five senses. So it's lots of layers that it will distort the information. Let's say a mentally ill person can see the world differently than let's call it sane person. Nobody's sane. Sane, it's a relative term, but it's different reality for everyone. I kept talking about how the reality is being made up in the brain and by the soul. But anyway, so soul is leaving, is departing. It goes back to its own reality, which it resides anyways in that let's say dimension. It connects. It's kind of a link between that dimension and our reality. The soul. It's a link. But humans don't understand it because they don't have tools to measure and experience that link. Psychics might be able to explain you in different terms, easier to understand. So the soul is living, but it's loaded with information, including information about experiences here while living in this made-up reality. So soul had experience through the body and through the five senses, and it learns something. It's like you put these goggles. Let's say you put 3D goggles and you watch a 3D game, or a virtual game, a virtual reality game. So that's a made-up reality. Same thing. The soul has some goggles, sort of speak, like through the human body, and it's more of a 3D dimensional experience through the five senses. So it has touch, smell, hearing, taste, and stuff like that. And so the soul is experience this 3D virtual reality through the human body. It's like you being put in a suit, and you walk around into a made-up reality, into a game, and you experience life. Yeah, and you are made to experience life, and you are disconnected from being a soul because you start getting used to being into this suit. At first you don't like it, you are a baby and you need comfort, but with some time you get used to it. You get used to the need of having food, chasing money, playing a program dictated by someone else. You get used to it. Like slaves get used to being beaten all day or yelled at all day, or the rich people get used to being rich and disconnected from the reality of others. Yeah, everyone is living different reality. And when the soul, loaded with so much information from their activities, being into this suit, is departing, it's processing information differently because it has different reference point there. There is part of the world of God, which is all a different, let's call it vibration, different feel. Everything is clearer, everything is more real than real. Because real here is a reference through how you sense the world through your five senses. But when you go the other way, the soul as a let's say like a program, informational, intelligent, like an AI piece of code that is kind of has a own thinking. That soul will experience that reality at different level. It's totally different. That's the programming, and it's created that way by a God, by Creator. Okay, when the soul is departing, comes here. Oh wow, lots of love. But also the souls departing here, loaded with the program of fear. So people who, like souls who experience fear while in this body, when they go there, they start creating an imaginary world, an imaginary reality. And it's being so it's a belief that the soul judge itself through that perspective. It's like okay, once they reach a feel of love, of divine love, they look at what they did, because now they are disconnected from the body. They look back and they say, how come I did such things? I can't believe I did such things. So they judge themselves because they live different perspective now. It's like a different feel related to what's good, bad, what's love, hate, what's jealousy and stuff. And they are the ones who have the programming, who can judge themselves. So if you compare to people, let's say if you see someone who has, let's say, has high moral values, that's programming. Moral values, someone programmed, maybe during their childhood, programmed them to think what is right, what is wrong, and what are the moral values for that person, which are related to the society, to social norms, to some other existential condition at the time. Let me get into my car. Finally, I'm back in the car. I've been out for about 2-hour hike. I'm good, done with the winter. I can talk about this concept of heaven, hell for hours, but I know people don't have patience anymore these days, because there's so much information out there that can take the focus of people into anything else. I'm not saying I say important stuff, but we all chase a feel, and we all go for something that gives us a better feel. So nobody wants to know what's hell unless really are really scared sinners who did a lot of bad stuff and now they have a conscience. Okay, so talking about people who have no conscience, some people live with moral or based by a moral standard, like lots of religious people don't really lead a good life because they want to evolve spiritually. They do that just because the fear of not getting punished or judged by the society or by God. So it's nothing related to their soul evolution or soul growth. It's just living out of fear. And this monk I'm talking about touched this point. So like people live a certain way because of the fear of being judged or criticized, and that's not growth. Okay, so soul is getting to this new reality, let's say, not experiencing life, because life as well, soul is living forever, but experience in life without a body is different experience. The soul needs some time to get used to it, but once it feels this intense love and intense feelings, because everything is more intense, not being altered by the five senses that goes through the brain, processed reality, soul can see life and experiences and memories through different perspective, and the soul decide to judge itself. And like I said, the humans on earth, those who have high morals will judge themselves or judge others based on morals, like lots of religions do that. It's like, oh yeah, you are a sinner, oh yeah, you do drugs, oh yeah, you're a bad person, oh yeah, you crave for some, I don't know, certain foods or something. So those, and actually I dislike to think of those, especially religious cops, like those will judge you, will criticize you because you are different than their set standards, set norms. but they are not really souls evolving. And also there are humans who will give you a hand when you are in need, will give you guidance with compassion and with understanding when you make an error. It would not point fingers, would not call the cops on you, would help you straighten up things by explaining what's right and what's wrong through loving perspective, not through the human made up rules and regulations and laws. So if you made an error, let's say you end up doing drugs because someone tricked you into doing drugs, or someone or you were looking for a fix to your emotional mental pain, and someone gave you drugs and you got addicted to it. So those people of high level of soul growth or evolved souls, they will show you a way with love. So when you see these people, when you talk to those people, you already feel that you want to elevate yourself. You already feel that you do something that's not right. It's not because they look at you with some sort of anger or pointing fingers at you. That's fear, that fear-inducing attitude. But they talk to you and you feel that you want to be like them. You feel that you're not that good yet and you need to make some correction in order to be like those. So they inspire you to feel the love. And it's a godly love. And it happened to me when I talked to a nun. I was in a mental pain, and I never did drugs, booze, smoking. I don't do those things. But I had some mental pain, and it happened that a nun stopped to talk to me. She came to talk to me. And it was an amazing experience. It's like some angelic human made time for me. It was something totally new, totally out of the ordinary, and it really impacted the way I was thinking afterwards. So what this monologue has anything to do with the lava field story? So I'm saying that when I went very close to that lava field, I was all excited because I didn't know the dangers. I did look at the experience with a curious mindset, with I don't know, I was in awe about what I see. And that gave me a very good experience. But once I realized stuff about dangers, and once the fear kicked in, the whole experience kind of turned upside down. Was kind of I started to feel like it was a hellish place. Even it was the exact same lava never changed. That field never changed. And when I was hiking towards the lava field, I was all pumped up, excited. But when I returned, because of the thirst, because of the realization that I was stepping on something very dangerous, it changed the way I experienced the memory of that lava field. So I was thinking, oh, that's a hellish place. But after that, so the fear evaporated in my mind, and those probably adrenaline or whatever enhanced the sense of fear was gone. The memories came back with a positive flavor. It was a good experience. And even now, when I think of that Hawaii experience was a very good experience. But like I said, the soul can see his own memories with certain type of judgment, with certain type of attitude and emotion, and can add certain flavor to those memories. And because such a contrast between the state of the soul being into the godly dimension, the soul would see the big contrast between that state and whatever the soul did while incarnated in a human body here on earth. And let's say if the person did something against someone else, let's say someone that soul hurted someone using the suit, the body, use the suit to punch someone in the face or do other things harmful, the soul being at a different level of love would see this one with different emotions, and that could hurt, that could burn, could feel like something. So it's a reality, it's a made up reality. It's created by God in the programming of the soul. So the soul will use this programming to create its own reality. That's why when you watch videos from people sharing their NDEs or near-death experience, some people share that they went through a tunnel, dark tunnel, then they saw the light at the end of the tunnel, then they saw things. Other people share that they saw piles of dead bodies. Other people share that they saw rivers of murky waters with dead bodies floating on top. And actually I talked to someone who shared that he went to this hellish place where he saw a bunch of dead bodies floating on some dark waters and stuff. But when I look at this person stories, like how he shared his stories, he lived in fear and trauma and depression the whole life, and that created a database, a data bank of memories that were not very loving. And that was the reason, probably one of the good reasons, the soul look at the database of memories while incarnated in the human body, and while being there created a new made up reality, but still based on God's programming, because God programmed you the way you talk, the way you think. So you still have a base of programming. Then you build up a new reality through your life, maybe friends, maybe wealth, maybe pain, maybe suffering, maybe happiness, but you still have a base layer where which you start from, which is created by God. Same thing when you go after your leave your body, the soul follows certain programming rules. It's still created by a God. You cannot create, let's say you are a soul and you want to incarnate into something that you want to create, let's say some sort of an alien made up by your soul. You still incarnate in something that is designed for you to incarnate into. Same thing when you depart the body and you are in a soul form, the form or the structure of the soul is being dictated by the programming which was created by God. You cannot just, okay, I'm a soul and I want to be a princess with some unicorn princess, like a soul princess, whatever. No, the programming, the way the soul appears into that dimension is still programmed by a God, by the creator. And same thing, the programming of how you create your own hell or heaven is still pre-programmed by God. But everyone creates their own reality. So I created my own reality. I work on my own reality. I go for my hikes, my whatever adventures, because I have freedom to create my own reality, but still within certain programming boundaries, the way these were programmed by the creator. So done with my philosophy and my monologue here. It's Whistler. Still some winter, March the 9th, 2025. Talk to you later. If you think that I don't talk too stupid stuff, you can subscribe if you like. But I'm not going to please the audience and create content every day. Like lots of creators use AI, and they have, let's say, one page of message. They read a script, one page, and everything else is images and short videos from the internet, and use AI to insert those. So they give you a show, and they even use AI voice that generates some message. And where is their creativity? And they are consider themselves creators, but that's not creator. It's just a kind of copy paste and using a tool to do the work and get audience. I am not doing that. Talk to you later. Bye bye.